This module is related to the financial globalization and the area of reforms. Here we need to understand about the antidote for financial and macroeconomic instability. One thing is very clear, that instability is the part of the system. It is inherent in the system. It may appear by itself. It may generate it through the process of action or activities which is going on in the financial globalization process. Secondly, whenever destabilization is going to happen, it may be appear due to the regulatory arbitrage. Actually, the arbitrage process may lead towards convergence and towards equilibrium situation, but sometimes if it is going to be regulated, it may not create stabilizing. It is not going to stabilize the economies or financial markets. It is going to destabilize. So that kind of possibility also exists. To handle all these kind of problem and situation, regulation, codes, and standard goods practices were required. It may be mentioned in terms of RC and SGP. These RC and SGP is providing basic framework where that kind of destabilizing or instability of financial market can be resolved. So market forces which are actually in conflict with the regulatory institution, because usually regulatory institutions are established whenever the market forces are not going to working properly, or they are not going to make sure the equilibrium situation or stable situation. So the regulatory authorities or regulatory institutions are required. So usually they have the conflicts and conflicts of interest, you can say. Here RC and SGP are very much important. But that was considered that these regulation, codes and standardized good practices, they are going to establish first in the real sector, and then they are going to extend it to the financial sector. So it means on the one side, real sectors need to implement first them, and then they are going to be applied automatically on financial sector. However, regulatory alignment of domestic financial system is essential to make sure that these RC and SGPs are going to be implemented. Because if domestic financial market is not going to be properly aligned with the international financial system or with the regulatory requirement, then different domestic economies have different setup and they are not consistently following the same objective. And the objective is to make sure that financial market is becoming more stable and financial market is moving towards equilibrium situation. If we observe the 1970s onward, the non-government institutions' role has increased over the time because they lead towards financial cooperation. And that financial cooperation was actually ensured by Brussels Committee, and these BCBS in 1975, it actually having the objective to avoid any kind of possibility of financial collapse, because financial sector may face any kind of crisis and it may collapse or it may put itself into crisis. Anyhow, the governments were making efforts to make sure that, because once the capital account was start liberalizing, they tried to make sure that any kind of deviation from the equilibrium or make these funds, if they are going to generate more instability, how they need to be handled. They tried to devise different kind of strategies and different kind of solutions, but they were quite slow. The solution which were devised were quite inefficient, and even they were incomplete. Even their markets were incomplete. So sometimes they are having that kind of situation which cannot be handled by the market. So if we observe the non-governmental bodies, how they play their role, that kind of invention has been made in terms of their groups, just like the G3 group was established, G5, G7, G10, G20, G22, G30. So variety of groups or variety of association of different countries have been evolved over the time to resolve these kind of issues. The G10 was playing vital role here in terms of establishing these standards and code of conducts or good practices. On the other side, G22 was providing that kind of solutions which are required with the recent development. So the need of the time is going to be fulfilled by the G22. Success of the market-based enforcement, if we observe that, how they became more successful, because they have the good reputation, or the countries mostly were the part of these groups, therefore they follow them. They follow their strategies, they follow their standards and regulations. Secondly, principle of minimum harmonization was established. So they are not going to impose everything. You have to follow each and every component of the regulation or every component of the code. You have to follow the minimum requirements. So minimum requirements can be achieved easily as compared to in full. Further, soft law, actually it was considered soft law because there was no hard rules and regulation which were through legislation imposed on these economies. But voluntarily these economies are accepting with agreement or with consensus that they are going to follow them. Therefore, the outcome was no binding force of legislation allowed them to follow all the countries willingly and voluntarily. And these kind of codes were referred as code of conduct, guidelines, recommendations, suggestion, and such kind of things that were not creates that kind of pressure or burden, due to which sometimes countries face some kind of hesitation or some kind of inconvenience, and they avoid to follow the code of conduct. Here they got more success due to this reason.